Hi guys, Steve here. Today I'm going to give you my take on the Smith Wesson M&P Bodyguard. It's Smith Wesson's subcompact 380. Stick around. When you purchase your Smith Wesson M&P Bodyguard, it doesn't come in a fancy carrying case. It comes in a cardboard box, but inside that cardboard box, with all your usual peripherals like the lock and the chamber flag and instructions and all that good stuff, it does have a nice vinyl case where your weapon is stored. Open the case up and you have a pocket here where your 380 is. It has the extended magazine in the grip. It does come with a second magazine over here. So all in all, the carrying case itself is very nice. It's you can zip it up, and looks pretty much like a PDA or some sort of computer device or some sort of notebook or calendar or something. Nobody'd really know unless they saw this Smith & Wesson what this item was here. So let me go ahead and get into the specifications for this guy. Okay, so I'm going to take this out of here and give you the specifications after I give this weapon a brief overview. Well, this M&P Bodyguard is a subcompact. I don't have overly large hands. I've got medium-sized hands, and it fits nicely in the palm of my hand with no problem at all. If you have a large hand, the grip may be a little bit of a challenge to you. Gripping this firearm with a large hand, you probably have to work at it a little bit. It's designed for small to medium-sized hands. The grip to me is fine, except for the fact that the pinky won't go across the grip itself. I just kind of have to support the weapon on that pinky there. I fired this weapon several times and I had no problem with it. Once, after about 4 or 5 rounds, getting used to it, I was able to stay on target and get back to target with no problem. Recoil, like I said, is very minimal, if any. At least to me, that is personal opinion. The finish itself, this is total black. It does come in a different finish. It's an earth gray or earth tan, I believe it's called, where the bottom is kind of a tannish brown and the slide itself is black. This obviously is all black. Now, this particular weapon does not have a safety on it. There's no safety here at all. It does have a model with a safety. I chose to get one without the safety. The sights, front and rear sights, are both steel and they are drift adjustable. You have your slide lock here, and your slide lock here, and your release lever here. So let's go ahead, and your magazine release is a small little button right here. Getting to it with one hand, if I can get the camera, if you have the proper size hand, you shouldn't have any trouble popping it right out. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'll give you some more specs on this here. As I said, it is a subcompact 380. This is double action only. It's not single action, so it is double action only, and it has 6 plus 1, 6 in the mag, 1 in the chamber itself. The barrel length itself is 2.75 inches, and the overall length from stem to stern is 5 1/4 inches. The weight itself, this thing weighs in at a whopping, unloaded with no magazine at all, only 12 ounces, so it's an extremely light firearm to carry around. It won't be weighing you down all day, and it's great for, I use this, like I said, for secondary backup. You can put this in an ankle holster if you'd like, if that's your choice to carry, or you could actually have it on the inside waistband on the other side of your body, wherever you want to carry this, or even a pocket carry if you so desire. It's very unobtrusive, very light, and you almost sometimes forget it's there. The barrel and the slide itself are the Armonite, Smith & Wesson's Armonite finish, very durable. It does ship, like I said, with 2 magazines, one with the extended base and the other one with a flat base here. So let's go ahead and tear this thing down, and I'll show you how hard it is to tear it down, and it's really not hard at all. So let's go ahead and do that. Field stripping your Smith Wesson Bodyguards got one different little step to it than you normally encounter with the other Smith Wesson M&P models. But basically, as far as all semi-automatic goes, it's most of the field stripping actions are the same. It's just a little bit different as far as how you get the slide off. So let's go ahead and field strip this bad boy. First off, make sure your weapon is safe. Okay, we have the slide locked open, and this is your release here, your slide release. So you press it into the downward position. Doing this backwards here, there we go. Now here's where it is a little bit different here. Let's see if I can get a better view here. I'll zoom this in. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and manipulate this slide release. When in the down position here, we've got to kind of wiggle it to pull it out. And there you have your slide release, your pin there, slide release pin. With that, you just rack the slide back, pull it forward, you got your lower, and you have your upper. Now the upper is like any other upper. You just take out your recoil spring, and this particular recoil spring, you can take the center rod out as well to just clean if you need to, clean and lubricate if you want. We've also got your barrel here that you take out normally. Now, reassembling is just like any other weapon, any other automatic. You put your barrel back in, you reattach your recoil spring. This is your lower right here. This is the hammer itself. Like I said, this is not a striker fire. This is hammer fire. So you can, even though it's hammer fire, you can safely dry fire this weapon because it's not center fire. And this is per Smith & Wesson. They say this particular thing, as long as it's not a rim fire, even if it's hammer fire, you're safe to dry fire. And a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't dry fire any hammer fire weapon, but like I said, that's a quote from Smith & Wesson. I've asked them and they said, no problem. Well, anyway, back to what we're doing here. Reattach the slide. Lock the slide back into position. Now here is where this is going to take a little practice. I know I had to do it a few times before I got it down packed, but what you need to do is you need to reattach this release pin here. And as you know, when we took it out, it was in the down position, facing downward. Well, to put it back, it has to be parallel with the slide itself. Now, the other trick is that your barrel here has to be all the way forward. Sometimes you're going to have to push it. It's got to be extended all the way forward. What you have here is a hole where the pin goes. If this barrel is back, and you're not going to really see it too well, but it will block the smooth passage of this pin. You will never get this pin back in. So you just have to make sure that the barrel is pushed forward. Sometimes you have to get in here and push it forward. It's not going to hurt it. It's just the way it is. And with the pin itself running parallel to the frame, you push your pin back in. And I'm doing this backwards. I'll probably never succeed, so I'm going to do it normally. Once you have your pin back in, as you can see, it's parallel, upside down, but it's parallel. You just have to work the pin in. You'll feel it when it engages. Sometimes you have to pull the barrel out a little bit, but it'll engage. And of course, it's not going to do it now since I'm filming. Could be worse. I could be doing this live. Bear with me here. This is the only thing about this weapon that I am not too fond of, because normally this will do it just with no problem at all. There we go. The pin, I don't know if you heard that click or not, but the pin, you'll hear a snap, and the pin will become fully recessed into the guide here, as it is. And you keep the pin parallel with the frame. Rack your slide, pull the trigger, rack it, pull the trigger a couple of times. Feel comfortable with it, you're good to go. You can go ahead and reload your weapon and put one in the chamber, reload round in the magazine, and you're good to go here. So that was the field stripping of the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. A little bit different with the pin removal process. It's instead of pushing in the Smith Wesson M&P models, having to push the sear pin down inside the grip itself, or inside the firing mechanism itself, it's a little bit different. And it's something you'll have to do 3 or 4 or 5 times just to really get comfortable with. The first couple of times I did it, I kind of fumbled with it, and finally it just, it's coming a second nature, except for this time when I was filming. So what I was going to also show you is when you do fire this pistol, you rack it, and as you fire it, if you look at the back here, you'll see the hammer come back. And it does protrude just a bit outside of by the beaver tail here. It just protrudes a bit, but not enough. And you just fire it. And I still, even though it's empty, I really don't feel comfortable pointing this thing at me while I fire it. So there we go. And as you just keep firing it, but with each fire, it will eject around. But you do have, this is a double action only firearm. So that was a field stripping of the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. And again, outside of the pin, removing the takedown pin, cleaning it and maintaining it is a snap. It's a breeze. Well, there you have it, guys. There's my take of the Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard. It's a perfect subcompact 380, great for pocket carry, your backup, purse carry, or anybody who just enjoys a smaller frame firearm. Thank you for watching, and if you can, subscribe. Click that little bell so you'll be notified of future and upcoming videos. Also, if you can, check me out on my Patreon channel. And before I forget, make sure you support our troops, our law enforcement, first responders, and especially anyone who supports the Second Amendment. Till next time, guys, be careful.